So first, let me thank you. Sorry about the late change. Thought it was necessary. We'll do this the rest of the year, if that's okay with you guys. Yeah, preparation for Purdue is well underway. Guys are working hard. We had a good practice, and looking forward to tomorrow, introduce some more things and get into more things, and just keep getting ready. Keep preparing. Questions?
After taking these last couple of days to reflect, I guess, what changes are you making with the defense?
Yeah, I'm not going to get into the specifics of that because that would, not be a competitive advantage by any means. But there certainly was. We've made some changes in a lot of ways, right? In personnel on the field, personnel off the field, adjusting responsibilities, guys doing some different things, doing them differently. That's one of the reasons that we moved this till Tuesdays from now on. So there's a lot of stuff that we're working on, but that'll be internal. Unless you do something officially, I don't like to share stuff that we do internally.
Do you plan on getting yourself more involved in defensive playing game?
Yeah, again, I'm gonna stay away from the specifics, but it's my job to make sure we get better on defense. That was not good enough, obviously. So whether I'm involved or not involved, I better make sure it gets fixed.
Purdue quarterback Ryan Brown's status is in question, so preparing for the backup quarterback, how does that add an extra layer of preparation for a defense that's already trying to find its bearings itself? Well,
he already plays, even when 15's playing. Right, they have package for him because he's a really talented guy. If he ends up being the starter, they'll probably, like he did in the game. When he came in the game, he didn't just do his package stuff. He did what was on the game plan. Now, when you prepare a whole week for a guy to be the starter, that's different, right? Then you get, you may shape the game plan more to fit his specific talents. So, yeah, there is some uncertainty there. But, look, we have to get ready for him either way because he plays. So we got a good look at him on tape, and we're going to have, that's every week. There's always so much to get ready for as a defensive coach. You just have to pick what you think's going to be the focus, right? Because when you get to this point, you have, 7 games of data to work off of. That's a lot of plays, a lot of football.
Greg, we saw a lot more freshmen on the field on Saturday. Do you kind of foresee that being the norm going forward?
You know what? Guys are getting their feet underneath them, some of those young guys, and I think they can help us. Plus, I haven't talked a lot about it, but we have a pretty substantial, when you look at that injury list, some of it is not by my choice, it's by necessity, right? So some of it is improvement to the point where I think they can help us win, and some of it is, it's the best choice available.
What do you think about the mix now on the defensive side of the ball with the staff? You talked a lot about having some experience, having some young guys. How are you seeing that at this point of the season?
Well, we're not playing well defensively, so that's a kind of a loaded question, right? And I'm not saying don't ask the question. I'm just saying it's a loaded question because you have to look at things, I have to look at things critically, right? And say, okay, why that? Now, I sat with the defense and I showed them Sunday, probably 8 or 10 plays that were monstrous plays that didn't have to be. Now, they may have gotten monstrous plays another way, but the way they got them, I'm not saying that they didn't have a lot to do with it. They did, but we didn't give ourselves a chance. So I'd like to see if we did it correctly, but that's coaching. We have to get our guys to get lined up and do their job. It's not, it sounds easy, right? Well, get lined up and do your job. They were shifting people and moving people, and we did not do a good job of adjusting. So we certainly have to get better, and that's what we're working on.
Just for point of clarification.